Hello, how you going? I'd like to introduce another drawing lesson for you. It's not a rainy day today, but it is night time and I can't go out in the night. I can't see in the dark. So we'll do another drawing lesson today. Let me know in the comments below if you find these lessons useful or interesting. And again, in case you didn't watch the previous one, there'll be some comments in there about a course and modules and things like that. Just disregard those. I'm not going to edit that and cut them all out again. It's only a very small percentage, and the lesson itself is still very valid and valuable. If you want to learn how to draw and to enjoy being able to capture some of the things that you see when you're out in the bush, some of these lessons I hope will be a helpful tool for you on your journey. Anyway, less waffling, more drawing. Let's get to it. The reference for this study is a kangaroo photo that I took on holidays. Holidays are often a good opportunity to capture subjects for drawing references. By the end of the lesson, you will have an understanding of how to draw animals from shapes. This is a technique that you will use again in the second half of the module. You will also learn how to draw shapes with lines in a different way to the first study. Just left of centre on the page, start drawing a rectangular shape. This will form the thickest part of the kangaroo's legs and back. On top of the rectangle, draw a triangle with curving sides. This forms the slimmer part of the top of the body. At the very top of this, draw in two triangular shapes and connect them to make the head. Add on some circles at the top for ears. These geometric shapes allow us to break the individual parts of the body and the head down to make it easier to draw the complex shape of the animal. Using curving lines, begin to round the edges of the rectangle and allow the lines to flow down the page to the bottom to form the tail. Look carefully at the demonstration. Each part of the kangaroo is a shape that connects to all the other shapes already drawn. The legs and tail will form positive shapes, and the spaces between will form negative shapes. Don't get bogged down in detail at this point though. Just draw lightly and we'll fix any mistakes shortly. I've outlined the main geometric shapes so that you can see clearly what we've used so far. Do you see how this makes it easier to find the overall shape of the kangaroo by breaking it up into small sections? I'm making a few small corrections to the shape of the ears, tail and legs. These lines are still very light, and I will just draw over the old ones until I'm happy with the shapes. Next, return to the upper body and make the top slightly thicker with curving lines. Where the top of the body joins the base, draw in a curving shape to indicate the bend of the leg. Then use the eraser to clean up the drawing a bit. Tidy up the right side from the head to the foot. Return to the left side of the kangaroo and repeat the process using the eraser and the pencil. Look at the outlines of the shapes and draw what you can see. Remember that we are drawing an animal and the shapes and the lines will be largely organic, and this means curving lines. Take your time and enjoy watching the shape of the kangaroo emerge from the various lines that you've used to create it. Why did the kangaroo cross the road? It was hopping mad. But don't get mad if you make a mistake. These are a natural part of the process and they still happen, no matter how long you've been drawing for. You will notice that in the demonstration drawing, I've stabbed the page with the pencil whilst erasing. The mark it has made is deeply embedded in the paper and there's no way that I can erase it completely. This is a mistake, but it's okay. The drawing will still be fine. Return to the head and begin adjusting the shapes of the ears. Make them rounder and longer. Begin adjusting the shape of the face just like you did with the body. Look carefully at the shapes and draw them in. The face is very round at the top, around the eyes, and as it lengthens toward the nose, it becomes more angular and geometric. Mark the shape of the closer eye on the side of the face. This is an area where shadow sits, so draw in the shape of the shadow. The face is the most finicky part of the drawing, so take your time and don't be afraid of the eraser if you need it. The nose is roughly triangular and the mouth is two curving lines, similar to a dog or a cat. We will now change pencil to a slightly darker one. It's very common to start a drawing with a light pencil like a HB to draw the basic shapes in, before progressing to a darker pencil to add darker lines. Starting at the top of the kangaroo's back, use diagonal lines to draw the shape of the dark areas near the edge. Just draw these roughly without taking the pencil off the paper. There's no need for laser precision, just enjoy the shapes and making marks. The dark section covers the centre of the kangaroo's body and tail. Continue using diagonal lines and fill in the shape you just created. This is similar to the technique you used before to create the dark patches in your drawings called hatching. You can use hatching in a very tight and precise manner to create very ordered and stable drawings. Today, you can use it in a loose and energetic manner, and this will add more energy to the finished drawing and will add to the impression of the fur on the kangaroo's back. Cross the direction of the shading over to form an even darker section around the edge. This is another shading technique called cross-hatching. Fill the first ear almost completely with shading. Keep the lines loose, just like you did on the body. Then add a few details to the second ear. There will be a darker section between the ears, and then add some details to the face. The time has come to draw in the eyes. For this drawing, just draw in simple circles and keep going around a few times to darken them. The main thing is that they are basically level in the head. Continue drawing the shadows around the face using the diagonal lines. This shadow covers most of the near side of the face. Draw a darker section along the top where the dark section meets the light. Just change the angle of the lines a bit and it will create a darker section with no added pressure needed on the pencil. Add a touch more shadow to the shoulder and then move to the bottom of the right leg. Continue drawing the dark areas in using the diagonal lines. Repeat the process on the left side and return to the main shadow on the back. Draw a series of mostly horizontal lines down the length on the right. This will add to the impression of fur on the back of the kangaroo. More on this to come in the next module. At the base of the left foot, draw in a dark section using more of the diagonal lines. This will indicate the shadow on the grass. Draw sharper lines next to the foot with the tip of the pencil and use the side for longer and less defined lines to fill the area around. Add a few lines to the right foot and add some further detail to the tail, leg and side of the kangaroo. This is to help balance the darker lines that you just drew on the ground. Now add some lines of grass into the area around the kangaroo. Use a mixture of vertical and diagonal lines to draw the individual blades and clumps of grass. Draw the lines shorter near the middle of the page and then increase them as you work your way down the page. The lines at the very front should be the darkest and the longest. Adding this will help ground the kangaroo and will provide another layer of depth to the drawing. More on this in the next module. And that's it. The drawing is complete. This was a bit different to the previous studies, and you had the chance to explore a few new things this time. You used simple geometric shapes to create a complex organic shape, and you got to try some different line and shading techniques that you will use again in the coming drawings. I hope you enjoyed the new things in this lesson, and I hope you're satisfied with the results of your hard work. I'm certainly satisfied because you are completing the lessons, and that is guaranteed to help you improve. Thanks a lot for watching. I always appreciate your company. If you have anything to say about the lesson or any topics that you're interested to chat with me about, leave me a comment below. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.